ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामी नमस्ते सरस्वती गौरवाणि विचारिणि निर्विशेषण्वादि पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य प्रभुनित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we'll continue our discussion. Yesterday I was talking about the how even Vedic culture, there are challenges in Vedic culture. So this fourth canto especially tells that how even being in Vedic culture we have problems, we face problems, and here we see that how even performing the yajnas and sacrifices, we see there are so many problems there, even in yajnas and sacrifices also. Only bhakti is there because it facilitates, this is the most important thing. Apart from bhakti, anything else is actually a problem. So here we see in fourth canto, first is Atri Muni. He is performing austerities and praying for the Lord, and he says, I don't know who you are. Please be born as my son, or please give me the son like you. And the result of this prayer, the three lords appear, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. They said, oh, you pray to all of us, so all of us have come. So the first problem is that it blurs the vision. There is a confusion. So vision, some sort of confusion, vision of reality due to Vedic way of life. That is actually the main problem. The Vedic way of life is also causing confusions. It is this is the first story it starts with, because here in Vedic way of life, Vedic culture, it promotes many gods. This is the first problem with Vedic culture. We have so many gods that appear in India, and many people think that Indian culture has many gods. So this is not only problem now, it is from the beginning of creation only. From the beginning of creation, this problem started, and even Atri Muni had a problem. So what to speak of the people presently? And then we see the next is Yajna done by Daksha. So what happened to Daksha? He was actually he performed Yajna, but the result is what? He got a goat head. So ultimately, what success he got is he got a goat head only. So it is not any success. And another, then this is the second, why it's a fighting. It teaches the story conflict Shiva and Daksha. It teaches how dangerous Vedic life is, because Daksha is doing great sacrifices. And you see, the sacrifice which he arranged was so amazing that all the demigods were directly present there. Not that you're offering here and some mantra is chanted. No, they're directly present. And the best priests were there, best mantras were chanted, everything was so beautiful. And what was the result of the sacrifice? It is complete failure, complete destruction of everything, complete mess. I know, instead of becoming happy, the whole sacrifice ended up in becoming unhappy. He was meant to make everything happy. Like, people in the Vedic culture, they already look into tithis, what is the proper time, proper tithis, proper muhurtas, astrological calculation, vastu, this, that, so many things we do. And what do you think, Daksha, he had done all the things very nicely in a right way, but nevertheless the result is inauspiciousness. So this is the problem. Because it teaches us many lessons. The first lesson is is that the sacrifices are extremely difficult to perform, and even if you perform them, it is not clear whether you will get the right result or not. So this is actually what is the lesson we should take. They are perfectly performed, and the persons like Daksha, they are very expert. The name itself proves that he is very expert. He is very expert in performing all these yajnas and all. But ultimately, it didn't work also, even for Daksha, with all proper muhurta. He might have started with proper muhurtas, proper procedure, and you see the end. People are little concerned here. No, we should do it in proper time. Maybe muhurta is not good. What is good? What is Sika Daksha? So there are many stories like this. And now when you see Prithu Maharaj, he is more powerful than Daksha. He wanted to perform 100 sacrifices. He could not do only. He tried, he could not do. Because, and then Lord Vishnu says, okay, come on, no problem. I appeared. All sacrifices are successful. So, even though they, Prithu Maharaj may have started on a right time, right date with all proper brahmanas, he could not achieve it. Not that he didn't have the power. He supreme Shaktavesh avatar. He could not do it. So even though they are promoted for a sure means to bring about prosperity and happiness in life and ultimately bring complete, but what is happening is you are getting a different result only. And before that, Anga, Prithu Maharaj's grandfather, he performed yajna. He created sacrifice. He wanted to have a good son. And what happened to his sacrifice? He got a son who is Vena. And complete opposite result. Not that Anga did not do anything right. He did right, but it didn't come right. That is a problem. And Dhruva Maharaj, before this, Dhruva Maharaj, he did sacrifices and rituals and all these things for 36,000 years. And what is the result? The result is he has to renounce everything, go to Badrikashram, and start performing austerities. And what is the reason? To purify his heart from the attachments which he developed due to Vedic way of life. You see, he want to purify. This is called Sukrutotta Anarthas. Even it happened for Bharat Maharaj also. Because of his Sukrutotta Anarthas, he got attached to a deer. Of course, in Bharat Maharaj's case, it is the will of the Lord that he happened it like that. But when it is told for Bharat Maharaj's case that it is he was affected because of his pious life, that is called Sukrutotanata. So Dhruva Maharaj has to perform austerities to purify his heart from Sukrutotanarthas, which he developed due to his Vedic way of life. And then we have Prachini Barshat, which is going to come, where Narada Muni comes to Prachini Barshat and warns him that what happiness you will get, what is the result? The result will be completely opposite, because you are killing animals, and all the animals, they will nothing will good come in life. And he explains the whole situation to him. So the point here is that it is not Vedic way of life. Even the Vedic way of life is also ending up in difficulties. So the attachment to the materialistic life ultimately brings about many evils in life. It invokes many evils. And if we look or again view, the whole fourth canto is describing the conflict between attachment and detachment. So Shiva and Daksha. Daksha is attached, Shiva is detached. So there is a fight between attachment and detachment. So we will, I will elaborately discuss this tomorrow about attachment and detachment. Now we'll come to how Prithu Maharaj is, how Mother Earth is giving different things to different personalities here. So this is the discussion we will continue today. So here we see that Mother Earth, she told, okay, you milk, my dear king, may I inform you that you have to make the entire surface of globe level This will help me even when the rainy season was ceased. Rainfall comes by the mercy of King Indra. Rainfalls will remain on the surface of the globe, always keeping the earth moistened, and thus it will be auspicious for all kinds of production. So, and after hearing the auspicious, pleasing words of the planet Earth, the king accepted them. He then transformed Swayambhu Manu into a calf and milked all the herbs and grains from the earth in the form of cow, keeping them in his clubbed hands. So the pot is his hand, and Swayambhu Manu is the calf, and what he got is herbs and grains. Others who are intelligent as King Prithu also took the essence out of the earthly planet. Indeed, everyone took this opportunity to follow in the footsteps of King Prithu and get whatever he desires from the planet Earth. So, planet Earth is called Vasudha. So, the word Vasu means wealth and Dha means one who holds. So, all the creatures within the earth fulfill the necessities required for human being, and all living entities can be taken out of earth by the proper means, as suggested by planet Earth. So here there was only one flat earth, Bhumandala only. That time all the seven oceans, seven islands are not there because they came after Priyavrat Maharaj. So till that time it was only one place, and Prithu was ruling everything. So after Priyavrat Maharaj, who comes in uh, Priyavrat Maharaj, now it is Uttanapada's lineage is going on. So next comes Priyavrat Maharaj. Uh, so then actually everything comes back. So, so here he says that then everybody started taking advantage of Mother Earth, whatever she is giving, and whatever is taken from that, either from the mines and surface of the globe or from the atmosphere, should always be considered as the property of Supreme Lord and should be used for yajna. This is very important that this type of consciousness is what saves. As soon as the process of yajna is stopped, the earth will hold all production, vegetables, trees, fruits, flowers, and other agriculture products and minerals. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, the process of yajna was instituted from the beginning of creation. By the regular performance of yajna, the equal distribution of wealth and the restriction of sense gratification, the entire world will be made peaceful and prosperous. As already mentioned, in the age of Kali, the simple performance of Sankirtana Yajna, the holding of festivals as initiated by ISKCON, should be introduced in every town and village. Intelligent men should encourage the performance of Sankirtana Yajna by their personal behavior. This means that they should follow the process of austerities by restricting themselves from illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, intoxication. If the intelligent men or the Brahmanas of society would follow the rules and regulations, certainly the entire face of this present world, which is in such chaotic condition, would change the people and people would be happy and prosperous. So formula is very simple. Just acknowledging, not that you need to do so much to please the Lord. Lord is just expecting that we acknowledge whatever whatever He is giving to us. So this is what is happening. So to be happy in this material world also, we just have to say thank you, my Lord. That's all. So even for that also people are very difficult. And second thing is two things, very simple formula. You should thank him. Second is that means acknowledging. And second thing is you have to take only whatever is meant for you. Ishavashamidam sarvam. These two things only. So Ishopanishad is giving very simple. Take whatever is allotted to you. Don't encroach on others' property. And then what you do, you just have to say thank you for the Lord, whatever He is giving. Apart from that, everything is you are happy to enjoy. All the great sages transformed Brihaspati into calf and making the senses into a pot. They milked all kinds of Vedic knowledge of purify words, knowledge to purify words, mind, and hearing. Okay, they want to purify words, mind, and hearing with the help of Vedic knowledge. So even Mother Earth can give this Vedic knowledge also. So she is Vasudha. She can give so much. Brihaspati is priest of heavenly planets. Vedic knowledge was received in logical order by the great sages. So Brihaspati, for the benefit of human society, not only on this planet but throughout the universe. In other words, Vedic knowledge is considered one of the necessities for human society. If human society remains satisfied simply by taking grains from the planet Earth as well as other necessities for maintaining body, society will not be sufficiently prosperous. Humanity must have food for the mind and ears as well as for the purpose of vibration. As far as the transcendental vibrations are concerned, so we should have food for the mind also and for the uh, ears also, and as well as for the purpose of vibration. So we need this for the mind, food, not only just the body. So if the Vedic mantra is chanted regularly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Purposes. It will purify all society and thus humanity will be happy both materially and spiritually. Why? Because just eating is animal level of consciousness. We have to raise our consciousness. First level of consciousness is where is just eating, sleeping, and mating. So this is the Muladhara Chakra, the lowest of all. Then comes the Swadhisthana Chakra, where you have sense enjoyment, proper sense enjoyment in illusory world, movies and all. Then comes the higher level, where person starts working, where Manipura Chakra is persons go and he wanted to make money, he wanted to make a career and all. Then comes the Anharata Chakra, where person is wanting to develop relationship, family, sacrifice, wife, children, and all these responsibilities. So like that, then Vishuddha Chakra, where a person feels like I have to follow dharma, I have to do something higher. So all these things. So what I am trying to tell is the growth of consciousness is like that. There's a systematic growth in consciousness of a person, and he should elevate himself. So if we just uh, focusing on eating and sleeping, and then he will just remain like that. That's why Vedic knowledge is needed to elevate a person to go higher and higher in level of consciousness. So all the demigods made Indra, the king of heaven, into calf, and from earth they milked the beverage soma, which is nectar. Thus they became very powerful in mental speculation and bodily and sensual strength. So here basically we can see who is interested in what. So this is also a good lesson for us, because based on their level of consciousness, now they accept that. For earthly people, they need herbs and grains, because you have grains and you eat, and we get disease, then we have herbs to cure it. So in the earthly planet, that is what they need. And in the heavenly, where the sages, they need Vedas, so they took Brihaspati. And in heavenly planets, what they need? They need Somaras. They came to enjoy. So they want to enjoy it properly. So they need Somaras. So it's very obvious. In this verse, the word Soma means nectar. Soma is a kind of beverage made in the heavenly planets from the moon to the kingdoms of the demigods in various higher planet systems. By drinking this Soma beverage, the demigods become more powerful mentally and increase their sensual power and bodily strength. The words Hiranmayena Patra indicate that the Soma beverage is not an ordinary intoxicating liquor. The demigods would not touch any kind of liquor, nor is Soma a kind of drug. It is a different kind of beverage available in heavenly planet. Soma is far different from liquors made for demonic people, as explained in the next verse. So here, this Soma beverage is intoxication in goodness. Like they mix honey and curd to make something like Soma. So it is some. If you want to experience some Somaras beverage, you can do it. The formula is something mixture of curd and honey. I don't know what quantity and ratios, but they create like that. But both are in Sattva, so you get some nice sense gratification in it. And here, that is actually Varuni. Sorry, Varuni is the mixture of curd and honey. That is Varuni. But Soma beverage is also like that only, something in Sattva, and that gives intoxication, but that will not make a person mad. But here, the sons of Diti, the demons, transformed Prahlad, who was born in an Asuric family, into a calf, and they extracted various kinds of liquor and beer, which they put into pot made of iron. So here, uh, they took nectar, and these people are taking liquor. And the liquor which is on the earth is little less intoxicating than what is there in the lower planetary system. So whatever we get now, all these machineries, technology, all these 3G, 4G, 5G, and all these technologies and all, it is from the lower planetary systems, and these beverages and also from lower planets. The demons also have their own types of beverages in the form of liquors and beers. Just as the demigods use somaras for their drinking purpose, the demons born of Diti take great pleasure in drinking wine and beer. Even today, people of demonic nature are very much addicted to liquor and beer. The name of Prahlad Maharaj is very significant in this connection because Prahlad was born in the family of demons, the son of Hiranyakashipu. By his mercy, the demons were and still are able to have their drink in the form of wine and beer. The word ayaha, iron, is very significant. Whereas the nectar, soma, was put in golden pot, the liquor and beers were put in iron pot because the liquors and beer are inferior. They are placed in iron pot, and because somaras is superior, it is placed in golden pot. So even the pot also makes a difference. And the inhabitants are Gandharva. So for us now, we may not take like cool drinks and all. They also come under that type of beverage. The inhabitants of Gandharva and Apsaraloka made Vishwavasu into a calf, and they drew the milk into a lotus flower pot. The milk took shape of sweet musical art and beauty. So this is what they want. Gandharvas and Apsaras, they want Apsaraloka people, they want musical art and beauty. They want to look very beautiful. And this is, and then next, the fortunate inhabitants of Pitraloka who presided over the funeral ceremonies made Aryaman into a calf. With the great faith, they milked kavya, food offered to the ancestors, into an unbaked earthen pot. So this is uh, kavaya. They need this. Pitraloka inhabitants, they need this. So there is a question here. In one of the lecture of Juna's Bhakti, I heard that Ashtakalian Lord along with the gopis also enjoy liquor. Yeah. This liquor must be Somaras. Even Balram was also enjoying Somaras. Acha, Bana Somaras. Yeah, Somaras. This is Satvik. Even Balram was also drinking Varuni. Varuni. Varuni is available. That is the liquor. But that is in mode of goodness, not a problem. Only thing is we don't get it. Even now, if you take honey, now we also get intoxicated. If you take so much honey, we get intoxicated. mixed with curd. But that intoxication is not like you lose your consciousness. In Tamoguna, if somebody drinks liquor, he is senseless. But this is different. So the fortunate, so Bhagavad Gita says, Pitrin Yanti, Pitrin Vata. Those who are interested in family welfare are called Pitri Vartas. There is a planet called Pitraloka, and the predominating deity is Aryama. He is somewhat of a demigod, and by satisfying him, one can help ghostly family members develop a gross body. Those who are very sinful and attached to their family, house, village, or country do not receive a gross body made of material elements, but remain in a settled body composed of mind, ego, and intelligence. The people who are too attached, they become ghosts. Prabhupada is telling. Those who live in such subtle bodies are called ghosts. This ghostly position is very painful because a ghost has intelligence, mind, and ego and want to enjoy material life, but does not, because he does not have gross body, he can only create disturbance for want of material satisfaction. It is a duty of family members, especially the son, to offer oblations to the demigod Aryaman or to the Lord Vishnu. For time immemorial India, the son of a dead man goes to Gaya and at a Vishnu temple there offers oblations for the benefit of his ghostly father. It is not that everyone's father has become a ghost, but the oblations of Pinda are offered to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu so that if a family member happen to become a ghost, not that he will become, he will be favored with a gross body. However, if one is habituated to taking the prasad of Lord Vishnu, there is no chance of his becoming ghost or anything lower than a human being. In Vedic civilization, there is a performance called Shraddha, by which food is offered with faith and devotion. If one offers oblations with faith and devotion either to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu or to his representative in Pitraloka Aryaman, one's forefathers will attain material bodies to enjoy whatever material enjoyment is due them. In other words, they do not have to become ghosts. So, for devotees, they can chant Hare Krishna, and for the day of Shraddha, they can call devotees to their home, do kirtan, and offer prasadam to the Vaishnavas. That will also that will be done. Basically, the mantras are chanted and the Vaishnavas are fed prasadam. But now there are no proper Brahmanas to chant mantras. So what we can do, the Shraddha ceremony is you bring the devotees to home, perform kirtan and feed them prasadam. So that will also do. If you don't have sufficient, and that's sufficient also. Because now to get a Brahmana and do, no need. Do kirtan and that will also, all the mantras are there. This is, I am not telling any like formula. I am telling a simple method we can do. It will help also. Uh, Elaborate Shraddha ceremony and all if you are not able to do, and just for the family sake, you can call a Brahmana who can chant some mantras. But otherwise, the most important thing is feeding Vaishnavas is what is most important. Because Lord says, I will accept through the mouth of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. The inhabitants of both Siddhaloka, after the inhabitants of Siddhaloka as well as inhabitants of Siddhaloka, transformed the great sages Kapila into a calf and making the whole sky into a pot, they milked out specific yogic mystic powers beginning with anima. Indeed, the inhabitants of Vidyadhar Loka acquired the art of flying in sky. So Siddhas got Siddhi and Vidyadhars got the ability to fly. So Prabhupada writing, the inhabitants of both Siddhaloka and Vidyadhar Loka are naturally endowed with mystic yogic powers by which they not only can fly in outer space without a vehicle but can also fly from one planet to another simply by extracting their will. Just as fish can swim within water, the residents of Vidyaloka can swim in the ocean of air. So it is like that for them. So their body is in such a way that they can go through the air. Like a fish is going in water. Now, fish does not need any vehicles to go in water, right? It does not need a car or anything. It just can flow. So Vidyadhara people have a body. It's like an ocean of air. They are happily glowing. As far as inhabitants of Siddhaloka are concerned, they are endowed with all mystic powers. The yogis in this planet practice the eightfold yogic uh, mysticism, namely anima, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. By regularly practicing the yogic process, one after another, the yogis attain various perfections. They can become smaller than the smallest, heavier than the heaviest, and they can even manufacture a planet to get whatever they like and control whatever man they want. So all the residents of the Loka are naturally endowed with this mystic yogic powers. So can you imagine if we are in Siddhaloka, the competition will be how much Siddhi you attain. So the people are always this much I attained, this much I attained. Now, what is the thing is you experience a higher amount of happiness there. That is the point. If I am controlling, even normally also, if you have achieved something and you are getting a Olympic gold medal. So why people are so happy? Because they have achieved which others could not do it. They did something which others could not do. And if some scientist is getting some prize, some Nobel Prize or something, he is able to invent new things. That also gives pleasure, which others could not do. I did it. So in Siddhaloka, it's like that. You are able to manipulate the matter, and everybody is so differently blissful. And they can even manufacture planets. So all the residents of Siddhaloka are naturally endowed with these mystic powers. It is certainly a very wonderful thing if we see a person on this planet flying in the sky without a vehicle. But in Nidhyadaloka, such flying is a common place as birds flying in the sky. Similarly, in Siddhaloka, all the inhabitants are great yogis, perfect in mystic powers. The name of Kapila Muni is significant in this verse because he was the expounder of Sankhya philosophy. And his father Kardamuni was a great yogi and mystic. Indeed, Kapila Muni prepared a great aeroplane which was as large as a small town, and by various gardens, palatial buildings, servants and maid servants, with all this paraphernalia, Kapil Dev's mother Devati and his father Kardamani traveled all over the universe and visited different planets. So even interestingly, even the great mystic yogis, they get all these things. What they want to do, they travel. They want to travel around and see. So that is one of the pleasures every time for the living entity. They want to explore. See, basically, this is a jnana tendency. What is jnana tendency? To experience different pleasures. So that means it's a type of gaining knowledge. So I got this experience means you have knowledge about it, right? So I ate this food. That means I have knowledge about it. I went to see this place. That means I have knowledge about it. So the tendency to gain knowledge or tendency to get experience is like that. So we are such chit. The potency, chit potency is there, na? Chit potency is basically to gain knowledge. That's why we travel. We search in our mobile internet. What we are searching? We are searching that knowledge part. Of course, people search for enjoyment, but basically we are interested in knowledge. So that should be understood. So that's why people travel. Other also the inhabitants of planets known as Kimpurush Loka made the demon Maya into a calf, and they milked other out mystic powers by which one can disappear immediately from another's vision and appear again in different forms. So Kim Purusha Loka. Kim Purusha. What type of Purushas they are? Like that. That's a Kim. That's a question mark. Kin Naraha. That is also same thing. What Kim means question mark. They took Maya and milked the power to disappear. It is said the inhabitants of Kimpur Shloka can perform many wonderful mystic demonstrations. In other words, they can exhibit as many wonderful things as one can imagine. The inhabitants of this planet can do whatever they like or whatever they imagine. Such powers are also mystic powers. Basically, this is an animated movies. We also have these powers. We also create animated movies, right? We create so many things which are not there. And nowadays, this AI is generating. So this is all this from Kim Purushloka. We are also we are also getting some powers of Kim Purushloka. The AI generated images and special effect movies. They are all Kim Purushlokas. And Siddhis also we travel in aeroplanes and we are trying to all these anima, lagima, prapti. All these Siddhis are also achieved by modern scientists in a very what do you call very minute way and very in a comedy way. But there are there. And here we see this wonderful actions done by the people of Kim Purushaloka. So such powers are also mystic powers. They can the inhabitants of these planets can do whatever they like or whatever they imagine. So like, wonderful things. The possession of such mystic powers is called Ishita. The demigod generally learn such mystic powers by the practice of yoga. In Dashamaskanda, the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, there is a vivid description of how the demons appeared before Krishna in various wonderful forms. So here there is Bakasura, then there is gigantic crane. So Krishna has to fight with demons. They all come from the exhibit wonderful mystic powers of Kim Purushaloka. So Kim Purusham is what type of Purushas they are? They are all demons. So although inhabitants of Kimpurshloka naturally endowed with such powers, one can attain these powers on this planet by performing different yogic practices. So here also we are attaining, but we are attaining in a virtual way, not really. They just create in the virtual reality. But if they perform yoga, they can do it really also. Then the Rakshasas, ghosts, and witch, who are habituated on to eating flesh, transform Lord Shiva's incarnation, Rudra, Bhutanath into a calf and milked out beverages made of blood and put them in pot made of skulls. So this is what they're basically everybody is doing according to their taste. The taste of these people is like this. So they're interested in blood and that is their beverage because they are yakshas, rakshasas, ghosts and all this. There are so many types of entities in the form of human beings whose living conditions and eatables are most abominable, propagating. Generally, they eat flesh and fermented blood, which is mentioned in this verse as Kshitajasavam. The leaders of such degraded men, known as the Yakshas and Rakshasas, Bhutas and Pishachas, are all in the mode of ignorance. They have been placed under the control of Rudra. Rudra is the incarnation of Lord Shiva and is in charge of mode of ignorance in material nature. Another name of Lord Shiva is Bhutanath, meaning master of ghosts. Rudra was born from between Brahma's eyes when Brahma was very angry at the four Kumaras. So Prabhupada has so many interesting things to explain about it. Thereafter, the cobras and snakes without hoods, large snakes, scorpions, and many other poisonous animals took poison out of planet Earth as their milk and kept this poison in the snake holes. They made the calf out of Takshaka. So, what is the loka of Rakshasas, Yakshas, Bhutas? From here, 100 yojanas above the earth, that is 800 miles up we go, then we get Rakshas Loka. And Yakshas are, in the Tibetan flat, not Tibet in the sense, not present Tibet, but at the northern, after beyond Himalayas, greater Himalayas, there is Yakshalokas, where Dhruva Maharaj went and fought. And the planet of Rakshasas is just very above. They're all material only. And Bhutas, they're everywhere. Even there in this planet and around our place also we can have bhutas everywhere because they are the uh, people who die in accidents, they commit suicide, they all become bhutas. Hmm. Preta is a dead body that is something dead, that is preta, and bhutas are like that. And then there are pishachas, then there are different varieties within that also. I also don't know much detail, but yeah, Prabhupada is telling, you see, within this matter world, there are different types of living entities and different types of reptiles or scorpions mentioned in this verse are also provided with their sustenance by arrangement of Supreme Lord. The point is that everyone is taking his eatables from planet Earth according to one's association with the metal qualities. One develop a certain type of character. Payah pani bhujanganam. If one feeds a serpent milk, the snake will simply increase venom. However, if one supplies milk to a talented sage or saint, the sage will develop finer brain tissues by which he can contemplate higher spiritual life. Thus, the Lord is supplying everyone food. But according to living entities' association with modes of metal nature, the living entity develops a specific character. Do we have bhutas and pretas even on the? Yeah, yeah, they will be there in the one also. Only thing is, they are there everywhere. Even in some temples also you find. One time, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they went to a village and it became late. So they slept in a temple. And morning they woke up and they were coming out of the temple. And all the local villagers, they became afraid. They said, where were you coming from? They said, yeah, we became late, so we took rest in this temple. They said, how could you take rest in the temple? What is the problem? They said, there is a ghost there. There is a and they said that but we chanted Hare Krishna. They said, no, this ghost chants Hare Krishna. So what happened? There was a pujari who was serving in the temple and he used to constantly chant Hare Krishna. But he was very offensive to the people. That's why, and then because of which Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that his chanting was not having any effect only because it's very offensive. It's a bullet, a gun shot without any bullet. It is only making noise, but there is no bullet in it. Similarly, this fellow, he chanted, but he didn't chant with any quality. So because of which there was no effect. So even after becoming, he became a ghost and he was chanting Hare Krishna also, but without of any effect. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said, I just chanted Hare Krishna and he left. He got delivered maybe. So the point is, they are there everywhere. If we don't want to get affected, then we should chant Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you all very much. Any questions, comments? Sumantra